Good morning, everyone. This is Cherie, and today I'm going to watch every single Sofia Coppola directed movie. This is for my directing class midterm assignment. The assignment is to choose a film director, find some specific information pertaining to their directing style, artistic influences, use of camera, or particular style of working with actors, etc. So I picked Sofia Coppola. I have seen almost all of her feature films. I've not seen On the Rocks, the latest one, so I'm looking forward to watching that tonight. I am going in chronological order. I also have not seen the Netflix A Very Murray Christmas. Now that I have Netflix, I'll watch that. And I also have not seen her first short film, which is available on YouTube, so I'll be watching that. But before that, I'm going to watch all the music videos and commercials that she has directed. So without further ado, let's go to the music videos and commercials. The music videos were all like indie rock. There was one song I just absolutely loved, but the visuals were about the life of a piece of gum, the travels of a piece of gum, and it was so gross, especially post COVID, because it's just like, oh, you could kill someone, right? Um, yeah, that was brutal. One video featured a pole dancer. Now, I believe Lost in Translation and Somewhere also feature pole dancers, so that could be a recurring motif of Sofia Coppola's. Um, Pastel colors, beautiful visuals. She really likes to hone in on people's faces, and it's all beautiful, just beautiful work. But then there was this string of Gap Christmas commercials. Really funny, really great character work. If I can, I'll just put a couple little clips here. But it was good. It was so good, and I had never seen those. All right, so now I'm going to watch the first short film that she did called Lick the Star. Lick the Star, about a 14-minute short film, black and white, um, kind of, I don't know, Mean Girls, Heathers, indie vibe. Not sure what to make of it yet. Opens with a shot of a girl looking out a window in a car. I think this might be another motif of Sofia Coppola's. And it's funny because when I was reading the credits, there were these familiar names popping up like Schwartzman, Cassavetes, Bogdanovich. Sofia comes from a filmmaking family. Her father's Francis Ford Coppola, who made The Godfather. And so, she's got connections. Yeah, interesting film. I'm still not sure what it meant, what the theme was. I will have to think on this one as far as the message that she was trying to get across. She co-wrote it with someone. Lick the Star was made in 1998. So now we will move on to her first feature film, The Virgin Suicides. The Virgin Suicides came out when I was living in Nashville, and I was a member of the Tennessee Screenwriters Association. And one of the guys there had these free passes to the movies, so we decided to go. I wanted to see Virgin Suicides. He did not. He wanted to see, it was some kind of submarine movie. It was an action movie. So we saw that instead, and it was many, many years later that I finally saw The Virgin Suicides. So I can't wait to revisit it again, and I'll be back to tell you about it.
All to understand those 5 girls. After all these years, we can't get out of our minds. It didn't matter in the end how old they had been, or that they were girls, only that we had loved them.
All right. Well, Virgin Suicides, I really enjoyed this more the second time. Yeah, just enchanting, very nice. I am noticing things that she does in a lot of her work. So there was another Mrs. Robinson moment, which like that commercial I showed you that had one of those. Um, rat poison is mentioned. Rat poison was also mentioned in Lick the Star. The video about the gum, the music video, okay, that actually was, parts of that were taken from the movie, The Virgin Suicides. Not all of it. I guess I just blocked that out of my memory because it was still gross. Sorry. And there was another shot of Kirsten Dunst's lead character looking out a car window. She's passing houses. And it's got a great soundtrack. Well, not really indie, but it took place in the 70s, so the songs were from that era. Really good music. So for The Virgin Suicides, I was able to watch that through the Canopy app, which is through the library system. So if you guys are in the California library systems, you can access that and watch the movie. I don't know about other states. I don't know if it's like the Canopy apps in all the states and then they all play the same things, but you can investigate that. So on to Lost in Translation. I'm going to watch my DVD of that.
Mr. Harris?
Yes?
Mr. Kazosaki. Lick them.
What?
Hey! Lick my stocking!
Hey,
Hey!
them, lip them, what?
Bye.
Can you keep a secret? I'm trying to organize a prison break.
Amen. That's for me?
Yeah, it can be free.
Oh my god, I have the worst VO right now. I'm so sorry. No. But listen,
Does it get easier?
No. Yes. It gets easier.
Oh, yeah. Look at you.
Thanks.
Lost in Translation. This is such a gorgeous film. I love it so much. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's like a love letter to Tokyo. Stars Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson, Anna Faris makes a guest appearance. And it's just lovely. The sound design is so good. I don't know who did it, but it just really takes you into a different world. And the lighting, the Tokyo lights, and just the lighting used in all the shots. It's so gorgeous. Um, there's a use of pools a lot in Sofia Coppola's work as well, which I hadn't mentioned before, but now I'm noticing that as well. And again, the car window shots, both Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson got their, looking out the car window shots in this one. So the next movie is Marie Antoinette from 2006, and that is another one that I own on DVD, so I will be watching that on DVD. Marie Antoinette from 2006. The ending reminded me of what went on at the Capitol on January 6th. It was a very chilling kind of ending. But that's not how the rest of the story was. It was like an episode of Lifestyles of the Rich and Infamous. It had the same motifs. Kirsten Dunst looking out a window. It's not a car, it's a carriage, but that same kind of shot. Pretty pastels for the color palette, soft focus, soft lighting. Marie Antoinette was noted for its use of pop songs, even though it took place, way back in the whatever century. So, but it because the pop songs were like her spirit, her soul, and I think it made it a very interesting movie. This is also one of the longest ones that she has put out. This one's 2 hours, and most of hers are between an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. I think another motif of hers might be wandering around in a field, because that was in one of her commercials, the Daisy commercial. And this had that as well. So that was from 2006. The next one is called Somewhere, and it is from 2010.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Cleo.
10 decisions shape your life. You'll be aware of 5 about 7 ways to go through school.
I need you to take
Maybe
Cleo.
you noticed
When are you coming back?
I don't know.
7 ways to get ahead. 7 reasons to drop out. When I said I can see me in your eyes, you said I can see you in my bed. That's not just friendship, that's romance too. You like music we can dance to. Sit shut me up. I'll come down, and I'll get along with you.
All right, I just finished watching Somewhere on HBO Max. This also was better the second time around. Um, Interesting. It did some of the same things, had some of the same motifs. There was the pool. There's also a motif, I believe, that I'm going to add, which is looking at action through a window. You can see the characters inside. That was in, I believe, the Virgin Suicides had it, and then this movie had it, and I know the Bling Ring has it. There was the pole dance scene. Now, actually, on Lost in Translation, that was actually a stripper who was on a stage, and there was no pole. So I kind of mixed that up, but this one had the pole dance. And then another thing I'm noticing is she does party scenes where people are, all gathered around talking at parties, and oftentimes one person is really bored by what's going on and they kind of wander away, and that's something I've seen in a lot of them. This movie was different. Well, first off, let me just say I don't understand the ending. I really don't. So I need someone to explain that to me. But it was different in that it wasn't as beautiful as all the past three movies. It really kind of made LA look more dull and lifeless. There was a section where the main character and his daughter go to Italy, and all those are just beautifully shot. But then when you go back to LA, it's so mundane. And I'm also noticing that there's the older man, younger woman relationship in a few of her films. So it's the father-daughter in this. It's the father-daughter in On the Rocks, which I'll be watching later. And, and then in Lost in Translation, it was the two married people that meet at the Japanese hotel. But yeah, so... And this one also didn't have the same kind of window shot. The main character was driving most of the time, so, he couldn't just look longingly out the window. But there were a few times when he was in a taxi, or there was a time when he was in a helicopter. He was looking out the window, but it didn't have the reverse angle shot looking in at the character looking out the window. So that was a little bit different as well. And there also was not so much pop music used. This was just kind of like a different feel for a Sofia Coppola movie. All right, the next one is The Bling Ring. Last year, I watched it like 3 times within a 1-week period. I just was on this Bling Ring kick.
Girls, time for your Adderall. No. My homie Mark.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Nikki. This is Sam. Hi.
Oh my God, that's Paris Hilton. It's Kirsten Dunst. I just think we wanted to be a part of, the lifestyle. The lifestyle that everybody kind of wants.
Hey, I can be the answer. I'm ready to dance when the band bugs.
Paris Hilton's hosting a party in Vegas tonight.
Where does she live? Do you think we could find a way in?
I don't know.
Come on, let's go to Paris's. I want to rob.
I was in a 2-on-2 on the Uptown.
Awesome.
What's up,
Oh my God.
Rude bitch.
That's a cute dress. Did you get a new dress? Mm-hmm.
We had so many beautiful things.
Oh, that's right. How much do you want to?
Ladies?
He looks hot.
I hear helicopters.
We're in LA. Don't be such a little bitch. You're stressing me out.
Oh my God. Where'd they gone?
Police are investigating the connection of the Hollywood Hills burglaries.
America has this sick fascination with a Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing.
It all comes back to bad choices. Who you have as your friend.
Can't take her dog.
But he likes me.
I'm a firm believer in karma, and I think this situation was a huge learning lesson for me to grow and expand as a spiritual human being. I want to lead a country one day, for all I know. Did you speak to any of the victims?
I've spoken to all the victims.
Really? What did Lindsay say?
This movie is different in a couple of ways. It's the only one shot on digital. It also was not shot in order. You had an opening scene of a robbery, then you had I think it was a flash forward to the day of the trial, then you had a flash back to when the protagonist met the antagonist, I'll call her. And it just kept moving around like that. So nonlinear storytelling. But, however, it had a lot of the regular motifs and tropes. There's a new one I'm going to add, girls' bedrooms, pretty girls' bedrooms. And also taking photos, people having their photos taken or their pictures painted. It had the car shot with the reflection looking from the outside in. And it had a pole dance. Because in Paris Hilton's house, she has a nightclub room. And so Hermione is doing a pole dance in there. And, slow-mo. So I've noticed that Sofia Coppola does a lot of slow-mo kind of beauty shots as well. And I've noticed in the past, too, some zooms. So like very slow zoom ins and very slow zoom outs. So that's where we are now. I finally get to see A Very Merry Christmas, which I have not seen. So I'm looking forward to that. And I will let you know how it is.
Oh, well.
Hooray! Let's rock! Oh, dear.
Is there a microphone?
Knock it off! I can't breathe!
Is it Clooney? Is it Clooney? Is George on the phone? Please, God, let it be Clooney.
A Very Merry Christmas from 2015 Netflix special. Oh, there's a post-credit scene, so hang around for that if you're going to watch it. Okay, you might not remember this. You might not be old enough. But back in the 1970s, there were these variety shows. And so you get a whole bunch of performers, singers, dancers, and they would each be in part of the show. And there was one person who kind of was the host and strung them all together off a very thin storyline. This is that kind of show. It had none of the Sofia Coppola touches, even though she directed it. It was really done in the style of the old variety shows. There were lots of guest stars, lots of familiar faces. Her cousin Jason Schwartzman was back, and I love him. But the best part was Miley Cyrus, because she can sing on key. And so her stuff was really great. All right, so now on to The Beguiled.
Girls, we all need to help. Quickly, he's losing blood.
I pray that the Lord see fit to restore the health of the wounded soldier.
We ask for your protection over our school, and we pray that we will be kept from harm throughout the night. Amen. Seems like the soldier being here is having an effect.
If you could have anything in the world, what would it be?
To be taken far away from here. We can show him some real Southern hospitality. Corporal McBurney's stay here has taught us all a very important lesson. Can I get you anything? The enemy is not what we believe.
Hurry, you vengeful bitches!
And this was also better the second time viewing it. It's a very dark film, photographically. It takes place during the Civil War, and so there's no indoor lighting except for candles, and a lot of it takes place at night. So it doesn't look like any of the other Sofia Coppola movies. The palette is very muted, and again, it's very dark. So this one's kind of more of an anomaly. It's also adapted from a book, I think. Also, The Virgin Suicides was. So it's kind of a different vision for Sofia Coppola. All right, so last one. It's 10 o'clock. I have On the Rocks to watch, and then I will have seen every single Sofia Coppola movie today. So let's get started.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, kiddo. Oh my gosh, you look beautiful. Cliff, how's your mom's hip?
Good, thanks.
Good. He thinks you're my girlfriend.
Brace.
Been busy?
Yeah, Dee's traveling with clients all the time, and I'm just the buzzkill waiting to schedule things. I'm so stuck.
So Dean's going away a lot, huh? On business trips?
Dad,
Raise your hand if that sounds fishy.
he's not like you. He's a good guy, a great dad.
Sure, it's nature. Males are forced to fight, to dominate, and to impregnate all females.
Maybe he's just not interested in me anymore.
Impossible. A woman is at her most beautiful between the ages of 35 and 39.
Great, so I have many months left.
Really? You're back in town. Been busy?
Yeah. Got a lot going on.
Do you? He should be worshiping the ground you walk on. And if he's doing something dishonorable, you need to know.
What if Dee's just busy? I'm in a rut. That's it.
I think we should follow him.
What?
I think you better see him in action.
This is your idea of incognito?
Here's the plaza. This is the place to have an affair. Has the most exits.
Exits on 3 streets.
Can you just act a little less excited about this? Because this is my life. It might be falling apart
I don't know why women get plastic surgery.
because of men like you.
I prefer the factory original.
Yeah, and every other make and model.
Thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Are there two? Oh, scared me.
On the Rocks on Apple TV Plus. This is Sofia Coppola's most commercial movie. It's kind of like a French farce. It didn't have a lot of the Sofia Coppola touches from her earlier films. There wasn't a heavy pop soundtrack. I believe there was a pool. Yeah, there was a pool in the beginning. Another thing she does a lot is has children in the movies or big families in the movies. And another thing I was going to talk about was her use of really long takes. But however, in this movie, this was edited more with quick takes, or should I say like normal editing. In her past films, she does not shy away from really long takes. If there's a dance routine or a skating routine, what have you, she'll show the entire thing in one long shot. So it's interesting because her style is evolving. And I would say her first 3 films are more of what I was considering the Sofia Coppola style to be. However, after that, she has transitioned. And yeah, so it's just really interesting to see her and see her progression. And I'll put a quick little recap here of all the things I learned about Sofia Coppola's directing style. I want to thank everyone who watched this video. I really appreciate it, and I also want to thank Sofia Coppola for making such wonderful films. So I will see you in the next video. Cheers!